Gregory and Mrs. Bird decided to marry one another because neither of them had anyone else. Gregory fell in love with his wife after not too long, but he always suspected that she didn't love him back. Though she denied the accusation, it was true. Additionally, Mrs. Bird didn't respect her husband because she couldn't help thinking that he looked like a bug. Sometimes she fantasized about eating him. Gregory spent his nights intoxicated in front of the television, actively hating the characters on screen to take his mind off of his own self-loathing. Mrs. Bird would lie in bed and think of her broken family, the son that ran away, and her husband, so brave, who had died, a hero. Her cloaca quivered, thinking of him. One morning, Mrs. Bird came downstairs and stared at Gregory. "I don't love you because you're a coward," she told him. 2 hours later, Gregory stood in the dining room, his belongings packed in bags. "I'm leaving," he told his wife. "Perhaps I don't deserve you, but I shall in time, and when I do, I will return." Mrs. Bird said nothing and watched him leave. The shuttleport smelled like the inside of a microwave. As he blasted through the solar system, Gregory wondered if he should have just contacted a marriage counselor. On the planet Grimwald, fire littered the barren landscape. Gregory looked in the craters around his body. The charred remains of a strange people filled the crevasses of the rock. This is the sort of world that needs heroes, Gregory thought to himself. But the world was not all dead. Flying dogs still soared above the flames, and they gave Gregory some comfort as he trekked across the land. In time, Gregory came to a great cliff, and in the distance beyond he saw a figure. Drawing closer, he began to recognize the figure, its wings, its eyes, the crook of its beak. "Little bird," Gregory whispered in disbelief. "It is I," Little Bird replied. "What has happened to you?" "I brought fire to the mortals of this world, so cold were they in their nights, and of me they begged mercy. I stole matches from the Sheraton Hotel and delivered them as requested, but the mortals couldn't contain the power of the flame, and I was bound and chained, and at first light of each new day my innards are feasted upon by ravenous mog-wrench, all in warning to those who dare defy the will of the Sheraton." "I want to help," Gregory said. "What can I do?" "The clerk at the desk in the hotel. It has the key. Go quickly. Dawn draws near, and so the mog-wrench approaches." Gregory made haste towards the towering facilities. Inside, he breathed deeply the exuding fragrance of apple spice. "Welcome to the Sheraton," said the clerk. "You look exhausted. Can I offer you a room? We have HBO." "Well, that's not exactly why I came," Gregory replied. "Please, you seem like a kind soul. The room is on the house, and you can stay as long as you like." Gregory pulled the covers up to his chest, feeling especially lucky to have caught an episode of Will and Grace right when it was starting. "Can I get you anything?" the clerk asked. "Something to drink, perhaps." Meanwhile, Mrs. Bird was staring into the spectral eyes of her dead husband, wondering if Gregory would ever come back. "They never come back," Mr. Bird told her. "You did," Mrs. Bird replied, but Mr. Bird was nowhere to be found. In his room, Gregory sucked up the sludgy remains of his chocolate milkshake. What did I ever do to deserve all that I ever wanted, he wondered. And in his heart, he knew he would never again leave that room.